Good day, colleagues. Yes, I know the lighting is very bad. I am just using the video to say good day, and then I will move over to only screen sharing. You know how you are asked to write a report that is usually written by your manager or director, and then you have to rewrite this report and they're just not happy with the report. That often happens because they are actually looking for something that looks like they wrote it. And the first problem is that often the office staff do not know what the archetype is that the organization is using. So that makes it difficult to write. So then you write from your personal archetype instead of from the organization's archetype. And your manager may also be writing from her archetype instead of from the organization's archetype. Then there's also differences in writing style, which is influenced by archetypes, things like writing concise, long paragraphs, short paragraphs, bullet points, no bullet points, graphs, images, and tables, things like that. And it can become difficult to write like your manager, especially if you are maybe new in the organization and are not used to her writing style yet. So, if you would like to know more about archetypes, please connect with me on LinkedIn and let's talk about that. Then also to help you with writing style is something that we looked at before in videos, is to ask the large language models to rewrite or to create content for you in a style. Now, if your manager is not known like Trevor Noah or Julius Malema, it will not find enough content so that it can write in that person's style. But you can teach it by uploading content and then use that content. Ask the LLM to analyze the content, provide it with the report you wrote, and then ask it to rewrite that in the style of what it has been taught. So that is fun and challenging. So I'm now going to switch the video off and then do the screen sharing to show you how I did that. Okay, so we are back on screen sharing, and so we are going to start off. Remember in yesterday's video, I explained that you do have custom instructions. So if you are going to write or use ChatGPT and you do not want the custom instructions to be used, you have to tell it to ignore the custom instructions. So it seems that I still need to learn prompt engineering. I really struggled to get GPT to understand what I want. Okay, so but eventually it then agreed to do this, but I wasn't happy with the results that I received, and you can see it's a whole conversation here. And with me not being happy, saying let's try again. Actually, what happened here is I clicked enter instead of shift enter. So I didn't complete this instruction with more detail about what I wanted to change, as I was not happy. And yes, I gave it then more instructions, and it then gave me a text. And then what I wanted to show you also, you know how in BART you get two drafts. With GPT, it doesn't give you two drafts, but you can click here and then it will create another version. And then here you can toggle between the drafts. And then you can copy and paste into Word what you get here, and then maybe decide to use pieces from the different drafts. Okay, so to do this task in GPT 3.5 wasn't easy for me. I struggled. So yes. Then let's quickly have a look at Bart. Bart agreed that it can do the task. And then when I gave it the information, then it tells me that it doesn't have info about that person. So, but please note that we are having a conversation. So again, it's telling me I can't do your for your request, though it said in the beginning it can do that. Okay, now it's telling me what its problem is. It wants to access the website. So I have to again tell it, ignore the websites. I should access the links. Focus on the style. Don't worry about who the person is. Don't worry about the website. I want you to have a look at the style. I had to say to it again, and then eventually it then did what I asked it to do. Okay, so what I want you to, why I'm showing you this is that yes, I'm still going to do the prompt engineering course, and hopefully this kind of thing will then be easier. But for now, while we are experimenting, experiment, have a conversation. So this is like having an intern or a new social worker or a new administrative person, and you have to teach them what you want. And the clearer you are in your instructions, the better your result. So I could have given up right here and they not have an outcome. Whereas if you continue to have a language conversation with it and fine tune what it is that you are asking, it then eventually provides you with an outcome. And I'm not like wow with this piece here, but I do think it's good enough, and it is a starting point. So there you are. Okay, then let's go here to GPT-4, and here it became much easier. I just quickly want to make sure that I'm now at the right place. Okay, so what I did is I provided it with 2 emails from Russell Branson and asked it to analyze this. Okay. And so I started off like in the previous chats, can you analyze 2 pieces of content and then rewrite a 3rd piece in that style? So it agreed to that. Then I gave it the first piece of content and then it analyzed it. So there it is telling me how Russell is writing, which is completely correct. Then I gave it the 2nd piece and then it is again analyzing this, and this is like, you can see that it understands what I'm looking for. It's enthusiastic. This is Russell Branson. This is how he talks. This is how he writes. excited, enthusiastic, um, creating anticipation, all of those things. Okay, so then I ask it to um, rewrite this, and then this is a piece that was written by Pete Bissonnette from Learning Strategies. Nothing wrong with the piece, it's just that I am now wanting to rewrite it. Like just like the report that you are writing is probably correct, but your manager wants it in a certain style, and that style is probably the way she is writing. So I'm just asking if this is just for me to play, and there it then created um, a piece for me. And remember, I could ask it to then make a um, new draft or another draft, focus on more things, give it more instructions. But I was actually, this is kind of like what I was looking for. And remember, you can then copy it and um, use use it. So, in other words, to summarize, the one thing might be that I need to do the prompt engineering course to learn how to do this, and when I've done that, I will give you feedback. The other might be that it's just a matter of experimenting, exploring, trying again and again, giving it clearer and clearer instructions. So what I did, in other words, is I asked it whether if I give it two pieces of text, whether it can analyze it and then write a third piece according to that. So the one thing may be that maybe it needs more pieces of text. And that might be that then for the purposes of this, especially if you're going to write something like an annual report, that you may want to use ChatGPT 4, where you can upload a previous annual report or maybe more than one previous annual report, and then provide it with the report that you wrote and ask it to rewrite that. So I gave it then the two pieces of text. It did an analysis, and it seems like it then helps if I actually take the analysis and then ask it, okay, rewrite the third piece using this, and then giving it instructions from the analysis. And then while you're then writing out that analysis, you can then also include the the feedback that your manager gave you, like write more concise, use bullet points, add graphs, and things like that. So look at what, or if you're, in other words, if your manager says now it's too flowery, then you know, no, I have to write shorter and more concise. So remember to try to give it positive instructions. So what if your manager says too flowery, what is it that she wants? If she's saying your paragraphs are too long, then ask Chat to write you short paragraphs, no longer than 5 sentences. In other words, it's a combination of giving it instructions, using the analysis that it gave you, and then to put this in. You can, of course, also in the analysis ask it to look at certain things, look at writing style, look at archetype, look at the length of paragraphs, look at this and that, so that at formatting, all of those things, and then have it analyze it from the beginning in looking at those specs, and then once it wrote you the new piece, to then fine tune that. I want you to change this, I want you to focus on this. For example, I had to ask it to remove emojis, things like that. So yes, ChatGPT is much better with this. GPT 3.5 was not good, and it seems like if one is going to write a large document like an annual report, that you would actually have to sign up for GPT-4 because in Bing Chat you are you have a character limit of 4,000. So you can imagine that that's not going to be long enough for an annual report. So, colleagues, are you going to experiment with this? Let me know what happens and what you find, how you're happy with the results, what changes, what feedback that you have to give GPT. Please let us know. Enjoy exploring.